My brother is a big fan of the movie Tampopo, a Japanese movie about ramen, and that's how he came up with the name. We love the name. My mom loves cooking, so it definitely started way before. Whenever people came over, it was almost like being at a restaurant in our house. We would have a bunch of people coming over. So we found it very not such a weird transition to do a restaurant. For the most part, it's Japanese, but with a hint of Korean. We have side dishes, which is very Korean, and we have like few items that are Korean in our menu, but predominantly Japanese. There's definitely one thing I always like to see. I'd like to see people get stuffed, which is very uncommon in a Japanese restaurant. When they don't even ask for a doggy bag and everything's cleared out, there's nothing better than that.
So, Dorothy, you say that Tampopo is a true hidden gem. Tell us why you chose it.
The son is the chef, Chef Danny, and the mom, Cindy. So it's like a Korean place blended in with Japanese noodle and sushi place. It's so awesome. Their fish is fresh. It's fabulous. You know, it's like you eat, you ask for what you wanted, and he'll give it to you, and he's very accommodating. We ordered the noodles, tried to go out by the menu and see what they have, and it was not disappointing. That was the first time I actually tried the ramen. That's not, microwavable. And
Noodles?
yeah, it was. And he came out. My husband came out. He had the ramen soup and he came out with a ball. And it was like a lot of colors. The vegetables. They have the roast pork loin on top of it. I have the sukiyaki, which is another noodle, which is like the beef and the vegetable. The broth. Oh, it's so good. I mean, we actually brought our friends. They never had sushi before, so we actually had them get some entrees, like kind of reel you in and see how you like it. No pun intended. Sorry. And I tell everybody, you got to try this place. You got to try this place. And nobody really sees it because it's so in the script. It just you can't see it.
So, Colin, what'd you think?
I thought it was excellent. Definitely a hidden gem and quite a find. My expectations going in were pretty low because it is in a nondescript building, and I was pretty blown away. I thought the fish was very fresh. I had the sashimi appetizer, the salmon. Aside from being incredibly fresh and delicious, the portion was huge, so great value. We had the sweet potato maki roll, which was a nice spin on some kind of traditional makis that you would get with avocado and the eel sauce, and I thought that was tremendous as well. I had the ramen with it was the Tampopo ramen with the shellfish, with the clams and the blue crabs in there, I think. And then my wife had the sukiyaki with the beef. Both were excellent.
It's interesting about ramen. Ramen is like sort of the hot new thing. Ramen is the new cupcakes. It's sort of the new bacon. I mean, everyone is sort of like crazy about ramen. It seems like that same energy that was once reserved for sushi has moved into ramen. It's sort of this, cult favorite right now.
I have to admit, Japanese and Korean food is not my favorite. I thought it was good. I had for our hot food, we had, I think it was yakinuki, seared beef in a special sauce. That was delicious. Then we also had like the spicy pork. That was really good as well. The thing that really threw me for a loop, it came with a scoop of macaroni salad and a scoop of coleslaw. And so I'm just like, I was confused. But I'm like, maybe this is like, why is there salad? And we were all like looking at it and like, one of my friends was like, do you think, is that macaroni salad? What is this? And so everyone was, just taking it and testing it to see what it was. But it was really good. The fish was fresh. The sashimi pieces were huge. And the roll pieces were humongous as well. I guess my only real criticism that I have for the restaurant is I just feel that for me, there was nothing that out of the ordinary. Like I can get that sushi, anywhere else, in my neighborhood or anywhere else in Chicago. And for me, for where I live to go up there, that's like destination dining.
Dorothy, would you agree with this?
Well, you know what? I agree and disagree. Let's put it this way. It's a neighborhood place that people who really want to go there, go back there.
I would say if you put it up against some of the best sushi places in Chicago, it stands right there. And those places are usually at 2-3 times the cost.
Cost,
Right,
definitely.
based on their
You know.
location and all the other stuff you get with some of those fancier restaurants.
Like cost-wise, absolutely. I mean, the cost was phenomenal. It was incredibly
yeah.
affordable. But to your point, Dorothy, like one of the things that I did notice is like it is definitely a place where regulars go because we weren't regulars, and I noticed like our rolls weren't as tight as everyone else's. The service wasn't as good as everyone else.
You
could from the table, like I mean, the table right next to us. I mean,
roll
well, like I mean, we had, you know, we each ordered, you know, like Caterpillar rolls, so we saw it and we're like, oh, theirs looks like theirs is rolled a little bit tighter. Ours didn't look as beautiful as everyone else's. I guess maybe tight's not the right word, but they weren't as beautiful as everyone else's. The quality was great. It just, you know, it is
Colin,
great.
I want to ask you something.
Sure.
Now, you seem like the type of guy that goes out a lot. You know, what do you think it is about sushi that you know you tend to have sort of a fancy environment around it?
Because I think it sells sushi better, right? I mean, if you put fancy cocktail lists together and you have the nice eye candy in the
But
restaurant,
this restaurant
you're more
doesn't
like
have this, though.
Exactly, and I think that's why it's really an interesting find in a nice place. You don't have to have all the kind of the pretension around it to enjoy it, and the food speaks for itself. And I like the fact that it's got that family-run feel where, you know, when somebody comes out with a giant bowl of ramen, it feels like it's your mom or your grandma
But I think
coming
what's
out.
also important to talk about here is not only is there sushi, but there's hot food, too.
Oh, definitely.
You know, so you get the hot Japanese specialties.
Yes.
Well, Dorothy, you chose Tampopo. Sum it up for us.
It's a really hidden gem. It's a great family place to go to. The food is awesome. Portions, great. It's a great place to be.
Andy?
It was good. It was incredibly fresh. I personally don't find the need to ever really, you know, drive all the way back there when I can find, you know, there was nothing out of the ordinary that I can't get anywhere else.
Colin?
I would definitely go back again. I thought the food was tremendous and just loved it overall.
All right. Well, you can try Chef Danny's and Cindy's creations for yourself at Tampopo, 5665 North Lincoln Avenue, 773-561-2277. They're open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $20.